In this movie, I'll show you how to change the order in which colors are assigned from a color group. And I'll demonstrate this feature on this final column of shirts. Now imagine that I want these shirts to be green. Well, I go ahead and click on that original Shades of Blue group here inside the swatches panel. And that once again sets it up as a harmony rule here inside the color guide panel. Now I'll switch back to swatches and I'll select a green as my key color. And the swatch that makes the most sense to me is this one here, C75, M0, Y100, and K0. So I'll go ahead and click on it to make it active. Then I'll switch back to the color guide panel. You can see it's now the key color for this new harmony. And so I'll click on this little icon down here in the lower right corner of the panel in order to save off those shades of green as a new color group. Then we'll go back to the swatches panel, scroll down to the bottom of the list. You'll see this new color group called Color Group 1 in my case. Go ahead and click on it to make it active. If you want to rename it, go ahead and choose the Color Group Options command from the flyout menu. And I'll call this one, of course, Shades of Green. Not feeling too terribly creative today. So go ahead and click OK. And now I'll select these two final t-shirts over here on the right-hand side. I'll go ahead and scroll my artwork over once again so that I can keep track of what I'm doing. And I'll click on the Recolor Artwork icon in order to bring up the Recolor Artwork dialog box. And now I'll click on Shades of Green in order to recolor the artwork. And just like that, my work is done. But let's say I want to shuffle the colors around a little bit here. Notice these arrows. They're showing that this shade of blue is being mapped to this green right there, which is the first green inside the group. And then the second blue is being mapped to the second green inside the group, and so forth. Notice this last item, this black bar, is not being mapped to any color. Hence, it does not have an arrowhead. And that's because Illustrator automatically protects blacks and white. If that's not what you want, then go ahead and click on this little color reduction options icon to bring up this dialog box, and then turn off, in our case, the black check box and click OK. And now you'll go ahead and map the black lines in the t-shirts to a dark shade of green. That's not what I want, however, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that icon again and turn black back on and click OK in order to unmap it. If you want to unmap any other color, all you have to do is click on one of these arrows. For example, if I don't want to remap this light shade of blue here, I could just click on the arrow to turn it off, and now all of those blues remain blue inside of my artwork. If you want to map the color again, just go ahead and click on the arrow to turn it back on. Then you have these icons down here. Notice this guy, randomly change color order and randomly change saturation and brightness. If you click on randomly change color order, you're just going to remap the colors in a different order. So you're just switching your greens around randomly as they relate to the original blues. And if you click on randomly change saturation and brightness, then you're going to end up predictably changing the saturation and brightness values across the board. Now, if you end up making a mess of your artwork, by the way, there's a couple of different ways to fix things. One is to just go ahead and click on Shades of Green again. Notice that it's italic, but if you click on the green bars again, you'll reset the colors to the way they looked before, and Shades of Green will no longer appear italic, thereby showing you that no changes have been made. What if you make a complete mess of things? Like, I'll click on the Brights group here in order to apply this hideous color scheme here. And then let's say I switch over to the Edit panel and I make some more very terrifying adjustments like so. And then it occurs to me that this is an unmitigated disaster. Well, you don't really have an undo inside this dialog box, but you do have a revert. And you get to it in a kind of weird way. You click on this little eyedropper icon right here, which might make you think you actually do something with it, like it's a tool. And it does say get colors from selected art, but what it really does is it reverts the colors to their original appearance. Then you switch back to assign, click on Shades of Green to apply it, and go on your merry way. Now, what I want to do is I want to swap the green of the bottom t-shirt with the green of the top t-shirt, both inside the t-shirt and where the folds are concerned as well. So I need to find them using this little magnifying glass icon here. So I'll click on it, and notice that automatically turns off the Recolor Art checkbox, by the way. Now, this color is assigned to the top letters. I want to leave it alone. And this color here is assigned to the bottom letters. Whereas this color is the interior of the bottom shirt, And this color right here, I believe, is the interior of the top shirt. So I need to swap those two. And then this color here is the folds of the bottom shirt, and this color here is the folds of the top shirt, so I want to swap them as well. And you do that by dragging the greens around. So first of all, turn off the magnifying glass there. And then I want to grab this guy and switch him with that guy. So I'll just drag and drop, and then I'll go ahead and switch those two with each other. And then I want to do the same with this green and this one. And that'll go ahead and swap them with each other as well. So you have this high degree of control over exactly how these colors are mapped. All right, now I want to make one more modification to the color of the top folds. And I believe if I grab my magnifying glass once again and click on this bar, yes, that's them. So I need to change this shade of green right there. I'll now click on the magnifying glass again to turn it off. With that green selected, I'll go ahead and reduce the brightness value, not quite that much, maybe to right about there. Let's try that. And I'll increase the saturation as well until I get this effect. So once I'm happy with the appearance of these colors, I'll go ahead and click OK. Again, Illustrator is going to ask me if I want to go ahead and save my changes to that swatch group, shades of green this time, before closing. I don't want to do that, so I'll just go ahead and click on the No button. That leaves the color group alone. However, it still ends up recoloring the artwork. All right, now I'll go ahead and press Shift-Tab to hide my panels and press Control-0 or Command-0 on the Mac in order to center my artwork. And there you have it, my bold new t-shirt colors, thanks to my ability to automatically recolor artwork in many different ways here inside Illustrator.